anything, so I'm taking them off. So hopefully I can see my notes. I get to join a lot of you in 2 weeks in Montreal. How many of you guys are going to be in Montreal? So when I realized how close Montreal was to where we are today in Albany, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to quickly change my notes. I can't tell you guys the same thing I'm going to speak to you about in 2 weeks. So I actually have some handwritten notes that I'm going to speak to you about that I'm so excited to share with you. So like Sheila said, my name is Deanna Herron, and I'm from Edmond, Oklahoma. Do you guys know where that is? Thunder up. Boomer Sooners? Yes? Okay. I know a lot of people from the East Coast, when I tell them that I'm from Oklahoma, they look at me like, is that where you guys have horse and buggies? No, there's a lot of white Mercedes in Edmond, Oklahoma. We wrote the book on white Mercedes. In Edmond, Oklahoma, there's more white Mercedes per capita than California, Beverly Hills, Hollywood. Don't you want that here? So I'm going to share with you a little bit on maybe how that can happen in your area, because the topic that I get to talk to you about today is minding your mind, which is one of my favorite topics ever in Arbonne. So I want to start and share with you a little bit about my story, because a lot of people, consultants, when you see those of us who have been successful in Arbonne, if you didn't know us in the beginning of our journey, you would think, oh my goodness, look at them. They can speak in front of people and wear stilettos while they do it. Wow. But what you didn't know is our journey that got us to where we are today. So can I share that with you really quick, my journey? So this is what I want you to know. I joined Arbonne not to have a business, but I was looking for something to do. Not to do, really, but I was looking for something else. I practiced medicine as a physician's assistant, so I was really kind of smart, a little nerdy, not a lot nerdy. As a physician's assistant, absolutely loved it. But what happened is I started having a family, and I loved that family so much more, and the desires of my heart changed. I desired to be more available for my family. Do we have anyone in here that practices medicine in any way? I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. I started rounds at 6 a.m. I got home at 7:30 p.m. I saw 22 to 28 patients a day. I did hospitals, nursing homes on a regular basis. So I lived my life to make someone else's life easier. Can you relate to that? The minute I started practicing as a physician's assistant, do you guys have this here? Nurse practitioners?
Oh, yeah.
The minute I started practicing, the day I started, I said, so what do you want me to do? Like, every time I see a patient, do you want me to talk to you about them and we can discuss treatment, or how does that work? And he said, here's your prescription pad. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to go play golf. So that's basically how it worked. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week so I could make his life more comfortable. And that's the life that we think we are designed to have, right? Because that's what society tells us. We go to work for somebody else. So the desires of my heart had really, really changed. I wanted to be home for my family. And because my background is in medicine, my degrees were in medicine, I was paying my medical school loans, that was the career path that I was looking for. So let me tell you a little bit about the background as I was growing up. I want you to know that I was not grown up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was on free and reduced lunches until the 8th grade. Wow. I was the first one in my family to graduate from high school, the first one to go to college. I waited tables through college as I paid for my own school. So I came from very, very humble beginnings, you guys. So when I started this business, or in my life, my value was always based on what I could achieve. Is anybody here like that? Okay. So my value equaled what I could achieve in life. So my value equaled success. My value equaled what you thought of me. And so if you didn't think very highly of me, I didn't value myself very much. But I set out to accomplish a lot of great things, and I was anything that I wanted, right? And it was because of my humble beginnings, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that today. But all of that said, in 1998 when I joined Arbonne, I'd been very successful. I was able to go to college, pay for my college, graduate from PA school, married the man of my dreams, had 2 small kids, a lovely home, practiced medicine, all was great. Okay? So I entered Arbonne in 1998, and in my mind I'm thinking, this is a shoe-in. I've got this. Look at what all I've achieved. I'm very respected in my current field and what I do. I have physicians that call me 2 or 3 times a month wanting me to go work for them, wanting to pay me more. I can set out to do anything that I want to. Everything that I have done, I've worked hard for, and it's worked. I can do this business. Not because I wasn't scared, you guys. I was petrified of doing this business. But because of my history of success, I thought this was a shoe-in. Until I called the first 5 people on my list. It's so amazing how that switch flipped. It's so amazing, like, oh my gosh, I'm a national vice president, I'm going to the top, I can't wait. No? You guys, the 5th person that I called that said no to me, I literally was on the floor in my office crying. Crying, because that 5th person, I truly thought, this was the one I was afraid to talk to. I truly thought that was going to be the one that we were going to partner together and go all the way to the top in this business, and they told me no. And I was on the floor devastated, absolutely devastated. And I know you can't relate to that. Right? Because everybody you ask to join your business, they join you. So, this is what I want you to know, you guys. This business really isn't hard. It really is not hard. We make it very hard. And so really what we have to do is we have to learn to mind our mind. That is the hardest part of this business, is learning to mind your mind. So after 16 years, a lot of struggles, a lot of obstacles, working through a lot of fears, hearing a lot of no's, reading a lot of books, my mind has become very, very strong. Are there things that still penetrate me today? Absolutely. But you know what? They don't last for weeks and months. They last for minutes. They last for minutes. So if you get nothing else from what I'm going to talk to you about today, I want you to know that your mind is going to become very strong as you push through this business. It's going to become very strong. So let's talk about how you can do that. So you have to grow that muscle in your mind. It is a muscle, you know, and you have to grow it. Just like if you want to exercise and you want to work out, there's hard work. There's some exercises you have to do to build that muscle. It just doesn't come naturally. So that means you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to do some things that are very uncomfortable for you. You have to talk to people. You have to open your mouth. And that's what it takes to be successful in this business. So I want you to learn to walk by faith in this business and really know that you absolutely have no control over who's going to join your business, who's going to go to the top with you, who's going to lead your business. You have no control. The only thing you have control over is opening your mouth and talking to people about this incredible opportunity. So you have control over opening your mouth and talking to people about this opportunity, and you have control over your personal growth. And that's it. That's it. Those are the only 2 things that you can control on this journey. Everything else, I'm going to tell you, God's got it. He's got it. He totally has it. And that's one thing that I had to learn in this business, that I wasn't in control. So here are some tips to mind your mind. And I'm a numbers person, so I'm going to give you some numbers. For those of you who are taking notes, you can write down number 1. All right. And if I forget it, you let me know, okay? So number 1, don't make this business hard. Don't make it hard, you guys. I want you to think about your life. My life, let me tell you what was hard in my life. What was hard in my life was getting up at 6 a.m., not kissing my kids goodbye, not seeing my husband in the morning, going to do hospital rounds, not getting home until 7:30 p.m. That was hard. This business is not hard. Hard is working for somebody else putting in the time so that their life can be easier. How many of you do that? That's hard. That's hard work. Hard for me was putting my children in daycare so that somebody else could raise them. That was hard. This business isn't hard. We make it hard. We make it hard. Look, I'm looking at notes. I've been in this business for 16 years. It's not hard. Okay? It's not hard. I still, when I do presentations or I talk to someone about the business, I still look at notes. Why? I want people to know this isn't hard. I don't have to have anything memorized. So we make this business hard by the stories we tell ourselves. What are some of the stories you tell yourself? Have you ever just sat down, and this is an exercise I want you to do at some point. I want you to sit down, and I want you to be still and be quiet for 60 seconds. I want you to set the timer on your phone for 60 seconds. I want you to be still and be quiet. And for 60 seconds, I want you to write down all the thoughts that come to your mind in 60 seconds. That will tell you exactly where you are. Those are stories that you tell yourself. I've done that exercise, and I was surprised at where I was at that point in my journey. I'll share that with you maybe in a little bit if I've got time. So the stories you tell yourself. We make this hard by allowing other people's opinions to control our future. I'm going to tell you right now, my name is Deanna Herron, and I'm a recovering people pleaser. I am a recovering people pleaser. Amen. I honestly don't care what you think about me. I don't, because the person that really matters is what I think about me. I'm the one that has to live with myself. You don't. I really don't care. You guys, we have to get over what other people think of us. Don't allow others' opinions to shape your future. People around you will oppose you and they will ridicule you. How many of you in this room have had someone oppose what you're doing? How many people have said this won't work? How many of you had someone who made fun of you and said you're in a pyramid scheme? Okay? If that is supposed to happen, and it did happen to me a lot, and let me tell you, the two people that opposed me the most was a man I worked with and a man I slept with. And they were two different people. But I happened to spend a lot of time with both of them, okay? But I did not allow their opinions to shape me. In fact, it fueled me even more. Like, oh, don't you dare tell me what to do. I'm going to show you. So don't allow that to happen. Sorry, my hair's like doing some funky things here. Is it humid here or what? Like we don't have this in Oklahoma. Okay, so if nobody is opposing you right now, if nobody is ridiculing you right now, if nobody is telling you you're crazy for doing this business, I want you to think about this. When was the last time you shared the opportunity with somebody? It's been way too long. Way too long. Okay, that is supposed to happen. So let me share with you a cute, I think this is a cute story. I can tell it now. It was embarrassing when it happened. So after I was able to walk away from medicine, it took me under 3 years to replace my income as a PA. I worked part-time at Albany, full-time as a physician's assistant, replaced my income in under 3 years. And about 6 months later, I realized this was my opportunity, and I walked away. So I walked away from medicine, had a great, amazing relationship with the physician that I worked for. We'd been together forever. He saw me through 2 children, not his children, my children. But he was with me through those 2 children, and we had an amazing relationship. So I went to visit him, probably a year after I had left the clinic, and he was going on and on. Dan, I hear so much about your success. Like everybody in Oklahoma has those orange bottles in their bathroom. Like you're so successful. Now you built a new house, and you have this new Mercedes, and everyone I ask about you, they say, yeah, she's just going to the top, and Arvon, you're just doing amazing. And I kind of got embarrassed. And some of those